What's up guys, DuArktik here with another Marvel Strike Force video, and in this video we are going to talk about the new Asgardians, the Ravagers and the Wave 1 Avengers. These are the teams that are going to be required and recommended for you to gear up in order to unlock the next Horseman, Red Hulk, and each of these teams has their own problem. This is not like the Young Avengers, this is not a direct recommendation, and this is also not like the Web Warriors, because the Web Warriors, they were a raid team, so you had a big motivation to invest in them. It's none of the case for these teams. So we are going to talk about each of the problems that these teams have and what exactly you have to do in order to be successful in the upcoming Scourge event for Red Hulk. Like always, if you like the information on this video, make sure you share it with your friends on Facebook and Discord. If you're new to my channel, make sure you subscribe for more Marvel Strike Force content, and make sure you smash that like button. Okay, so let's get started. And if you're looking for an answer, I'm gonna make it simple for you. There is no answer because we don't know which enemies we face. Until we know which enemies we are going to face, I'm gonna tell you extremely honest, and this is what I'm gonna do myself. Hold back on your resources. Don't waste any resources on any of these characters, because there is no solution here. This is going to be probably the most expensive saga yet. The Pestilence saga was very expensive because it required 2 teams. And the War Saga, it seems to be the same way. It's going to be required 2 teams, if not 3. So this is going to be extremely expensive. If you want to be smart about it, save all your resources. I'm doing exactly the same. Save all your resources, wait for the first 3 days of the upcoming Scourge in 2 months, and then you can get up the characters. Don't fall into the bait of wanting to spend 1 million gold per day training characters that you don't know if you're going to require. If you want to spend 1 million gold per day, this is the best option. The only thing you have to do is to spend your 1 million gold buying SBCs, orange catalysts of focus and damage, and buying mini uniques, orange quality and also teal quality. That's the only thing you should do with your gold right now. Save all your training materials from 2 months, because none of these characters are going to be an answer until we know exactly which enemies we are facing. Because these teams, all of them have problems. So let's talk about that. Let's start with the new Asgardians. The new Asgardians, they have many good things going on for them. They have sustain. Sustain means healing. They have self-healing based on their passive and based on how many allies they have. They also have mitigation. What is mitigation? Mitigation is abilities like defense up, like a block. They have some of these abilities that reduce the incoming damage from the enemies. They also have something very, very good, which is crowd control. What is crowd control? Is negative effects that reduce or stop the damage from the enemies. They have stuns, they have ability blocks, they have turn rewinds, they have blinds, they have mass stun. So all of these things are very, very good for the new Asgardians. The problem with this team starts with the speed. The speed is so bad that it completely compromises all the good things that this team has. Yes, this team has a lot of mitigation from Sith Special and from Valkyrie Special. The problem is that if your enemies are faster than you, they are going to beat you up way before you have your buffs ready to activate. Because one problem that this team has, it has no buffs on spawn, 0 buffs on spawn. So this is terrible. You are going to be smacked all over the face, and then finally you'll have the defense up and offense up and so on. So this is going to be a huge problem with this team. Whether if the enemies are way faster than you, if there is any kind of ammo frost or anything like that to slow you down even more, your team will have no chance. So while this is a good team in theory, after they have the first turn or the second turn, before that it's not the case. And many of their abilities, many of their best abilities are tied up with Alliance Wars defense even more. So you are not even going to be able to activate certain abilities that these characters have. One of these abilities, and I talked about this on my infographic for the new Asgardians, is the special of Heimdall. The special of Heimdall will not be ready until the second turn, and it clears only 2 negative effects. So because they are so slow, it's very likely that they are going to have a bunch of negative effects on their face, and only after 2 turns, after you have defense down, offense down, slow and everything else, then you will have a chance of removing 2 of those negative effects. If you have bleeds and so on, it's going to be a luck base, because you don't know for sure which negative effects will go away. So as you can see, while this team has sustain, while this team has mitigation, while this team has crowd control, while this team has very high damage output, the problem is that the speed completely compromises this team, and this is going to be a huge problem. And if you are investing already on this team right now, rushing, you have nowhere to get. There is no winning line, or there is no goal. There is no winning place. There is nowhere for you to get. So hold your horses. Hold your horses. Don't run, because you don't have to. Okay, so that was the hero new Asgardians. Okay, so new Asgardians. Now, with Thor, we have a connection of the Wave 1 Avengers. Thor connects with the Wave 1 Avengers, so that means that in the case you can use the Wave 1 Avengers, you can also use Thor, and you'll be useful on 2 teams. Now, the problem with the Wave 1 Avengers, let's talk about it. The good things first, very high speed in good characters. We have a stun, we have energy generation that is not limited to war only. We have also mitigation with the defense subs. We have characters on stealth, we have stuns, we have slows, we have blinds, we have turn rewind. So right here we have a lot of mitigation and we have a lot of crowd control. Now let's talk about the problems. There is no sustain on this team. Maybe a little bit with Hulk, if you give him like a healer isolate or something like that, but we don't know if it's that going to be enough. We still have not seen the rework for Hulk, and that's a big problem. Other problem with this team, we have no idea if these characters are very good. I used these characters on Dark Dimension 4 back in the day because they have such a good strategy potential. The problem is that they have the stats of Marvel Strike Force from like 3 years ago or 4 years ago. So their stats are so low, and we have no information if they are going to get rework on their stats or not. So we cannot count on them. While they are the best option in terms of strategy, in terms of speed, in terms of crowd control and so on, we have no idea if their stats are going to be reworked or not. If their stats would be reworked, you could change them to healer ISO 8, and because they are so fast, they would heal up so fast that they would be quite amazing. Now, we have 2 interesting characters here. We have Iron Man and we have Hulk. Iron Man is going to be part of the new tag team, and Hulk is going to be part of the Horseman team. So supposedly investing in these 2 characters will be great, but once again I tell you to hold off on your resources, because right now the tag team will not be fully available for at least 1 month and a half, if not 2 months. So why are you rushing for gearing up a character that you are not exactly sure if you are going to need or not, and then you already wasted all the gear, and maybe it was not even necessary to gear up this character so much. Once again, I ask you to think about the Web Warriors. The Web Warriors, they are great in raids, but you don't need them at Teal gear. You don't need them at gear tier 15. If you have your Web Warriors at gear tier 14, level 85, they can one-shot all the nodes on the Doom raids on the highest difficulty. So there is no reason to rush and gear up Iron Man right now. The same goes for Hulk. Yes, he's going to be part of the Horseman team, but his saga will only be available within 6 months. So yes, you can get a Horseman in 2 months, but the saga, the place where Hulk is going to matter, it's only going to be available in 6 months. So once again, there is no reason to rush for these 2 characters. Yes, they are going to have the stats rework. Yes, they are going to have their kits reworked. We don't know that about these characters, but there is no reason today to invest in these characters, and there is no reason in the next month to invest in these characters. Okay, sorry about that. There was some drone or something flying here. Okay, so hold on your horses in order to for getting up on these characters. It's not worth yet. Calm down. Let's wait to see what's going to be the next raid, like the Doom 3 raid. And let's wait, because we don't need to gear up these characters. Once again, the Web Warriors, they were fine at level 85, gear tier 14. You can ask Philosopher, that's what he did for the most part. And he only geared up the characters after they were necessary for the Pestilence event. And I was not even using the full Web Warriors. I was using symbiotes with some Web Warriors, and I'm going to do the same about the tech team. I'm going to use some of the old characters like Dr. Doom, maybe Lady Deathstrike and Kestrel, together with some of the new characters, with Vision, with Viv Vision, and so on. So we are going to have some flexibility there, at least for the upcoming months. The tech solution, it's only here in 2 months. It's not here today. You have the kit of the characters. You actually don't have the characters on your hand. So remember that. There is no point in investing on something that is not on your hand yet. Okay, so those are the problems with the Wave 1 Avengers. We don't know. Yes, they are very good. We don't know if they are going to get reworked to their stats or not. So, and once again, with these two characters, yes, they can double up in value, but it's only on 6 months and 2 months plus period. So keep that in mind. Now, a very good team that you can make, and I already experienced these on Dark Dimension, I tried in Dark Dimension 3, you can take these 3 characters together with Thor and together with Lady Thor, and this team is completely ridiculous. It's so much damage potential, it's so much speed, it's so much crowd control from the stuns of Thor, from the slows and blinds and more stuns, and trauma and turn rewind and so on. This team is 100% ridiculous. So this is a very interesting team that, in case these 3 characters get a rework, maybe it's going to be the best team. Once again, I'm not telling you to invest in any characters until the 3rd day of the Scourge event being available. Okay, so we talked about the problems of the new Asgardians, we talked about the problems of the Wave 1 Avengers. Now it's time to talk about the Ravagers. And I have seen some people already gearing up the Ravagers within the past day. Just the past day alone, people putting T4s on this team, people giving up gear on this team. This is what Scopely wants. This is what Scopely wants. And this is exactly what you don't want. If you are smart, you are not going to gear up any of these characters. 0. Let's talk about the good things about them. Turn rewind, big sustain, big mitigation for the entire team. Some utility, bypassing heal block and so on. That's fine. And then this guy gives buffs to the team, and this guy gets a lot of buffs, and he's very powerful with big single target damage. And this guy can do some nice AoEs as well. As you can see, the team in terms of speed is not that great either, but I think that Yondu can give speed up to the entire team, so it's okay. And on top of that, he also summons minions. And whenever you summon minions, that means you have decoys that will soak damage from your main characters. Now, that's all very good and so on, but you have to remember, these are minions. They don't have ultimates. They are limited only by their special and their basic. And the specials and the basic, they are okay. The special of this guy, this Ravager Bruiser, is usually the one that is most neglected, but is actually the best one, because he gives defense up for the entire team for 2 turns, he heals himself, he steals positive effects from the enemies, and he flips positive effects to negative effects on the enemies. So he's actually the best out of all the minions. And this 1 turn rewinds applies slow with only 10% chance of applying the slow with assist. And this guy, he steals health, but this mechanic, it really depends on which characters you are focusing on. Now, so some good things about this team. Yondu has a big problem. If we have any kind of enemy Black Bolt or Kestrel, like we had on the previous Scourge, where you had a Black Bolt, then you are completely done. You cannot use summoners, because Black Bolt is going to clear all the positive effects and is going to apply Disrupt. So if this is going to be the case, your Yondu is done. He's not going to be able to go on stealth, he's not going to be able to protect himself. Any kind of defense up or whatever is going to be removed and is going to be destroyed. So as you can see, there are big problems with this team. And once again, going back to the minions, they are minions. They have no ultimate, but all of them have full price. You still have to pay 15 million for each of them in order to gear them up. 50 million just to level up, plus more gear, more T4s, and so on. The team is not terrible, but once again, it's painful to invest in characters that don't even have ultimates, that they are just half-baked characters. And this is a problem that I have with minions. It feels that they are always not worth the resources you put them in, which is unfortunately because, once again, Yondu and Star-Lord T'Challa, they are somewhat decent. Okay, so as you can see, each of these teams has their own problems. The speed and the negative effects. This team also has problems with negative effects. They have no way of clearing negative effects away from them. Then we have the Wave 1 Avengers, which is actually the best team because they can clear negative effects from themselves, and it's guaranteed. Guaranteed speed up for everyone, guaranteed energy for everyone, guaranteed defense up for everyone, guaranteed big damage with everyone. So this team is actually the best, but they don't have the sustain. So once again, we don't know if these characters are going to give any kind of rework to their stats or not. If they have, it seems like they are going to be the best option. Once again, we have to wait and see. We don't know which enemies we are going to face. So yeah, the answer, the solution, you want the solution, there is no solution. The only solution that you have, once again, is your 1 million gold that you want to spend to get those cores from the milestones. Your 1 million gold, you want to buy the SBCs, you want to buy damage catalysts, focus catalysts, and maybe also some health catalysts. On top of that, you also want to buy teal mini uniques and orange mini uniques, because whether it is one team, the other, or the other, they are going to be required for all of them. So just sit back and wait. Don't try to rush, because the more you try to rush, the more mistakes you are going to make. So yeah guys, that's going to be the video. I hope you guys enjoyed. If you did, make sure you smash that like button. And if you found the information helpful, make sure you share it with your friends on Facebook and Discord. If you're new to my channel, make sure you subscribe for more Marvel Strike Force content. And I will catch you guys later.